everyone. Welcome to Rev It Up with Earl Garnet. I'm your host, Earl Garnet. Welcome to another episode of Rev It Up with Earl Garnet. Today we have a very special guest. There's car guys and then there's car guys. I've never considered myself a real car guy, more of an enthusiast. I love them, I research them, I check out all the videos of all the new cars coming out, but I don't build and I don't race them. My next guest here, Matthew, sure does. Welcome to the show, Matthew.
Thanks, Earl.
So tell us what we have here. It's a 33 Ford. It started life as a factory 5, is that correct?
That's right. This car is a 33 Ford 3-window coupe. It's a car that started out, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So it started out with a factory 5 33 hot rod kit.
Okay.
As presented, the car is around 20% factory 5.
Okay, yeah.
It's built with a Coyote Illuminator 5-liter.
Okay, yeah.
So that's based off the 2011 Mustang engine.
Yeah, which was a fantastic motor, right? Yeah.
Right, except it's forged internals.
Okay, yeah.
And it has the Boss valve springs in it. It's a naturally aspirated Coyote.
Yeah.
Then it uses a Tremec T56 Magnum XL,
Yeah.
which is one of the strongest H-pattern synchromesh transmissions that money can buy. It's rated 700 foot-pounds in a 4,500 pound car.
Wow.
So this is a 2,500 pound car.
Jeez. And did you have any inclination to go with an automatic transmission, or it was standard for sure?
No, I'm a clutch guy all
Good
the way.
man.
Even my 9-second drag car runs a clutch.
Good. That's what we like here.
Yeah.
Manual transmissions.
It runs a Ford 8.8 rear end, modified rear end. So it's got all of the. That's the hot ticket to get a strong rear end.
Okay.
Yes, you can build a 9-inch, but they weigh more and they have more parasitic losses. So you take an 8.8, you put weld-on housing ends, so 9-inch style housing ends. You use welded up axle tubes. Use a girdle cap, and this setup doesn't have to be 9-second drag race strong, so it uses a Torsen style differential.
Okay.
Eaton True Track, 410 gears, 31 spline, Moser axles.
Wow. So it's something else.
Yeah, this kind of rear end should be, well, except for the differential, the rest of it's probably good to run like 950s all day long.
Wow.
The differential's probably not strong enough for that. You'd run a spool if you're really going to run 950s. So.
Wow. And what's the horsepower rating on this car?
As configured, it's about 435.
Wow.
We've purposefully tried to keep the power down on the car because its primary target use was road racing.
Okay.
And on the road course, just having more power doesn't necessarily make for a faster car. In fact, it can make for a slower car because it's harder to handle.
That's right. Harder to
It's pretty easy to run these NA Coyotes up 550, something like that. But this one's been kept down a little bit on purpose.
For traction and keeping it going.
Yeah, I mean, it's a light car. It's a great handling car, though. It's a bit of an anachronism on the road course. But it was built to be a sort of an ultimate street car challenge type of car.
Okay.
So not made to be an absolute ringer at any one event, but a competent road course car or autocross car, a competent drag car, and a pretty and fun cruiser.
Yes, it's true. I've been to many car shows with Matthew, and everybody always loves this car. And so you do drag race it, and you do race it on courses and stuff as well, right?
Right. I mean, I have always felt that if you're going to present a car as a race car, then you've got to have that provenance.
Yes, yes.
So this car was second in the GT1 class of the Alberta Time Attack Series at the road course at Castrol, and it went 1165 at 114.5 at Medicine Hat on the strip. Yeah. That's a Medicine Hat. So if I was to take it to a low track like Mission, BC, or Englishtown, New Jersey, Houston Raceway Park, any of these low tracks, that's a time that's definitely knocking on the door of a 1099.
Really?
I don't know if I'd run a 1099. I'd probably, maybe it would run more like 11.1. But I bet with enough passes, if I lived in one of those areas, I'd squeeze a 1099.
Oh, I bet you would too.
That was on DOT tires too.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. So what inspired you to build this particular car? Was it you always liked the 33 Ford, or what was it?
Well, I think we kind of fell in love with the Coyote power plant.
Okay, yeah.
I have an 11 GT convertible
Yeah.
Roush Stage 2 car. That's
wow.
my summer everyday driver.
Really? How come I've never seen that car?
Well, because usually you see me when I drive in this car, I guess.
That's true.
It's a car that I don't hardly think is modified enough to show, but I mean, it's a 635 horse Coyote
Wow.
ragtop. And I thought, you know, we should do a project around the Coyote motor. And,
okay.
I run a chassis dyno shop here in Calgary, Tech Motion Chassis Dyno, and we had a customer come in with one of the early versions of this kit.
Yes.
He had a push rod forward in it, and
okay.
I'd always liked the Factory 5 cars, but
Yeah.
they're Kit Cobra, or they call them like a Mark 4 Coupe these days,
Yeah.
because they had some legal problems with the Shelby people
Oh,
over calling it a Kit
Yeah.
Cobra. Anyway, those cars I've always liked, and I've considered writing one or building one, but I've never really wanted a fully open car.
Yeah.
It's not very practical in Alberta.
No,
So
it's not.
when I saw that you could build the 33 as a coupe, I thought, what a great project to put wrap around a Coyote. So,
Totally. How long did it take you to do this project?
well, I worked full time, and so I'm about 2,500 hours in the
Okay.
project
Wow.
at that. If you were to try it weekends and evenings, I think you'd be looking at double
Yeah, I
or
would
triple
say
that,
so.
because there's a lot of picking up where you left off and
Yeah.
missteps
That's it.
and so on. Elapsed time, it was really over 2 winters.
2 winters, eh?
The
Wow.
dyno shop's not very busy in the winter, so we can spend our time working on projects like
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And what's this paint color called?
this. The color is a Dodge color. It's the only sort of non-Ford or Ford-like part on the car.
Ford guys will be mad. Yeah.
It's called Inferno Red,
Yeah.
and I have an SRT8 Magnum, which is the same color as this.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a good tip when you're building a custom car is, instead of using a custom blended paint, which might be neat, use a production color. And if you use a little bit of an unusual production color, there are lots of beautiful production colors.
There sure is, yeah.
Dodge has many of them.
do.
Then it's easier to touch up, it's easier to fix later, it's
Yeah, that
easier to
makes sense.
repaint, and it's a lot easier to see a car that is painted that color, or in my case, I lived with a car
Yeah,
that's
that's
painted
right.
that color.
You did, yeah.
And so then you're a lot more certain that you're going to enjoy the color or like the color when it's on the car.
Absolutely.
Just looking at a paint chip can be very misleading.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm trying to kick this habit, it's giving me the shakes. Lord, I've made some choices, but you're my best mistake. Say all things in moderation, you don't even know what close is. Well, my darling, I can't get enough, 'cause you give your love in small doses. Well, you said I love you once, I'll say I need you twice. Now I'm hooked and I took any good advice. Say all things in moderation, you don't even know what close is. Well, my darling, I can't get enough, 'cause you give your love in small doses.
Was it an expensive project? Did you have to take a zero off when you told the wife how much you were spending on it?
No, my wife is very supportive
Oh, that's good.
of the car project. I think you know, there are many things that you could do with your time which are not very family friendly, but the car hobby is a family friendly thing.
Yes,
as
it
long
is.
as you don't let it get beyond your means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Expensive? Well, I mean, there's 2,500 hours of time in a professional shop.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you can add up whatever you think that's worth.
Yes.
And there's about, I mean, I bought all the parts wholesale, and this is, for once I did a project where I built it on the plus side on the Canadian dollar exchange.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think most of these parts I got at about when the Canadian dollar was about $1.05 US.
Yeah,
So that's pretty good. There's about $100,000 in parts.
wow, geez, yeah.
And I did all the work, including the body work. Had a little help from, well, a mutual friend
Yeah,
of ours,
Kevin.
Kevin Adair.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of things which were hired out. The rollover system, which is sanctioning legal for SCCA Solo 1, Solo 2,
Yep.
ASN Time Attack, and NHRA, IHRA to 10-0. That system was designed and installed by Chris McQuay over at Unobtainium Welding.
Okay. Oh, there we go. There's your shout out.
Chris is one of the greatest welders in the country and a fantastic fabricator, and so this car was built around me so that I could wear a helmet and a Hans device, fire suit, and so on.
Wow.
He's
That's
one of
good.
my go-to guys that I call up when I have a project and
Yeah.
ask, you know, can you help me with this project, and are you in on it? And if he says yes, then that's a good indication we should go ahead with it.
Absolutely.
So the color and clear coat on the car was shot by another friend of mine who is a journeyman body man. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not really a body man, but I wanted to do the body work on this project. So when we started the project, you got to be honest about what you can do.
Yes.
Lots of these projects fail because guys are, you know, they have a pie in the sky view of what their capabilities
What they
are.
can do.
Often they have a pie in the sky view of what how deep their pockets are. too.
Yes. Yes.
But in any event, you got to be honest about what you can do and what you're going to have some help on. And then you go to everybody's got their go-to guys that,
Yep.
they go to for help on the things that they're not skilled enough to do or to
That's
do
right.
well.
Yep.
And so I went to Ken and I asked him if he would mentor me on the body work and shoot the final coats, and he agreed to. So he did the final coats on it.
Oh, very cool. Well, the
It's-
color
it's-
looks awesome.
It's shot with PPG and Viro base.
Really, eh? Jeez, it looks awesome. Tell me about the wheels.
They're NKPF01s. They're an alloy racing wheel.
Yeah.
They're compared to a lot of these knockoff type wheels. These are a much stronger wheel that can survive the rigors of on-track work.
Yeah.
And they're lighter, although I wouldn't consider them light. Not like a
fiber.
drag race wheel,
Okay.
like a Weld Drag Light or Pro Star, but
Yeah.
but they are light compared to, say, a knockoff set of Bullets.
Okay, yeah.
Mustang Bullet wheels. And they're a kind of a ghost 5-spoke design, which is, I'd say, quite unusual on a street rod, but this car was not meant to look like a 60s street rod or a 30s car. It's meant to be a 21st century street rod, and new style wheels like this are a part of that.
You know, and that's one of my favorite things about this car is that, yeah, it has the heritage look back now, but it's total business and all modern in every aspect. And that part of it to me is very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, you know, another thing that's a little different for a street rod is most of these cars use bigs and littles, right? So they'll have gigantic wheels in the back and little ones in the
Skinnies in
front.
front.
I mean, they generally don't need that to handle well. In fact, it typically exaggerates the bad handling
Oh,
that most
really?
of those cars have. But they look cool.
Yeah.
However, when you're going to road race the car, there is a benefit to having the corners square, having
Yeah.
everything matched all around, because you can rotate the tires.
Yeah.
On top of that, this car has a almost 50-50 weight distribution, so it's very well balanced.
Wow.
And it doesn't need a tire mismatch in order to correct the handling.
Correct that. Yeah.
In fact, it's with the roll bars in, with the door bars in, and a fuel load, and me sitting in the car with my personal protective gear, you know, fire suit,
Yep.
Hans device, helmet. The car is 51% on the back.
Really, eh? Jeez.
Yeah, it's slightly heavier on the back.
Wow. Okay, so Matthew, you mentioned earlier that you have a shop in town with the dyno and stuff. Why don't you tell us the name of that shop again and what you exactly do there?
Sure, it's Tech Motion Chassis Dyno. What we do at the shop is we specialize in reprogramming the engine management systems in modified cars. So put a supercharger on your Mustang, you need to have it reprogrammed, and I'm your guy.
Wow, cool.
I think Tech Motion has the distinction of being probably the only shop in the country where the guy who's going to work on your car has both degree in computer science and is a Red Seal automotive service tech.
Absolutely, and that makes all the difference. It's not just some dude running it all. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you're doing.
I'm happy to do jobs at the shop where we program cars with a cold air and a pulley, that kind of thing. But the majority of cars that come through my shop are super modifieds and require a truly one-off custom tune, and that's what we specialize in.
Really cool. Well, I got one more question, and I'm really excited for you to take me for a drive in this car. Can you make my car faster?
Of course, your GT500?
Yes.
Of course I can. Generally speaking, we don't sell or install the parts at Tech Motion, but I can point out a few things that you can put on the car, and then we'll reprogram it. And the reprogramming itself will help, but what it really does is match up the programming to the parts that are on the car.
Very cool.
Like your GT500 could definitely make use of a pulley. That's probably the lowest hanging fruit on that car.
On that car, eh? Really, eh? And would I get buddy pricing? Well, with that, I think it's time for us to take this car for a ride.
I told you when I met you, baby, I'm not the kind to walk a straight and narrow path, bring you peace of mind. You gave your love so tenderly, and now I love you so. And how far down do you want me to slow? I used to run around this town, stay out late at night. They used to count on me to start and finish every fight. But girl, you got a hold on me, don't ever let me go. And how far down do you want me to slow? I don't think you know what you're saying when you say that you love me. I don't think you know just what you want. Why don't you set me free? I don't think you understand how much you make me cry. I don't think you love me anymore. I don't know why.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next episode of Rev It Up with Earl Garnet.
Hey Earl, you want to drive?
I would love to drive. Let's pull over up there and I'll take it for a spin.
Give her!